What's up, everyone? This is Chris G, and I'm going to over my top five highlights of Rob and Chyna show. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and spill that tea for you guys at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. So for my first highlight, Chyna and Rob decided to go to Khloe's birthday party. But Rob wasn't on board with it at first, but eventually he did go. So Khloe and Kim had invited Chyna personally. They called her up personally. And she didn't know that Rob knew about the birthday party this whole entire time until she told him, they told you about this weeks ago and you never mentioned it. So Rob told her, I really didn't want to go at first, but I'll go now. So leading up to the birthday, before they leave the house, Rob, of course, makes it about him and is saying everything doesn't fit. I look ugly. My clothes are ugly. And so Chyna was telling him, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Just support your sisters, support your family. Let's just do this. So while they were in the car, I didn't know that in December, Rob was in the ICU over his diabetes. Apparently, well, he already told us that he stopped taking his insulin, but he was talking about it again. And I think he was feeling kind of funny. So Chyna had told him, well, I can take you to the hospital and we could forget about this party. So Rob told her, no, let's just go to the party. So they did. And of course, they were greeted by Kylie and Tyga, which it looked like an awkward meeting between Chyna, Kylie, and Tyga because of the whole Kylie got with her boo, her ex-man, yada yada. So after all that was done, Rob and Chyna, they were sitting at the table, and Rob was like, okay, I'm ready to go because I've been here for an hour and that was good. I didn't want everybody to ambush me, but they did, and I'm ready to go. So they did. On to my second highlight. Chyna had a get together at her house, and everyone is invited, including Scott. So Chyna was telling Scott about how her and her siblings, like, just kind of giving him backstory about herself. So it's 12 of them total in total. So the dad was out here getting it in, y'all. I mean, getting it in, and he's fine. But anyways, so Scott was saying, oh, so you're going to go ahead and go to DC. And Chyna said, yeah, we're going to go. And Rob, you're going, right? So Rob said, oh, no, I don't know. Back again with the self-esteem. So, okay, Rob, you're playing the self-esteem card like the race card. I need for this to stop. I need you to just get over it. You fat. So what? Everybody get fat every once in a while. So after they were still doing the kind of the get together, but Chyna and Rob had went off to the side, and Chyna had convinced Rob to come with her to DC because it was very important to her. And while she did that, she went ahead and gave Rob some booty. So on to my third highlight. Rob and Chyna in DC. So Chyna flew out everyone, Paige, her other friends, her entourage, and all that. They all came out, and Chyna was showing Rob all the places, like where she's from, basically, like the school that she went to and how she used to sneak out, the house that she lived in, which was down the street from the school. So there were some people that were outside the house. So Chyna had got out, and she was like, oh yeah, let's take a picture. So they were taking pictures with her, and they were telling Rob to get in. And Rob, again, I don't want to take any pictures because, I'm out of shape and I don't like myself. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all, the whole season is Rob not liking himself, and he's out of shape. And Rob, you're a nice looking dude. You're a nice looking thick brother. You know what I'm saying? Stop it. Get it together. Your wardrobe is fine. Just enjoy your life, Rob. That's what I'm saying. On to my fourth highlight. Eric versus Tokyo Tony. So Chyna and Rob, they had a little dinner, and Chyna had invited her siblings, Brittany, Camille, and Eric Jr. And of course, Eric had came, her father. And so she wasn't sure if her mama, Tokyo Tony, was going to pull up. Now, if you guys don't know about Tokyo Tony, yes, this is the same person that was bashing the Kardashians, but then she turned around and had simmered down when she knew, I guess, Chyna was with Rob. And also, this is the same woman who was asking for donations on her GoFundMe account for a car, but Chyna did surprise her with a vehicle. So, okay, she's driving now. And so when Tokyo Tony had pulled up, she was giving us every bit of memoirs of a geisha. Yes, I said I ain't never seen nobody dressed like that outside of Halloween, but that is her. That's her dress, and that's who she is. So she came in and she had an attitude at first with Eric, like there was some tension there with them too. And I guess when she found out the extent that um Chyna and her siblings, a lot of them were like 4 months apart. They were basically like triplets. That's when she had got mad and got up from the table. I thought Tokyo Tony was leaving, but she didn't. She came back and they had a good time after that, after the ice was broken. Because they're not together and she hasn't seen Eric in over 12 years. So ice finally got broken and Eric did tell her that she had an attitude problem. So that added a little bit of salt to the wound. But anyways, off to what Tokyo Tony was telling us was how she found out that Chyna was in Sensation stripping, was someone had mistaken her for being Chyna. So she went and she was in Sensations and she was looking at the strippers, and when Chyna had turned around and flipped her hair back, she looked dead in the Tokyo Tony's face, and that's when she had brought out the bands and started making it rain on our own daughter, supporting careers. On to my fifth highlight. So for this highlight, there was a little bit of drama leading up to the 4th of July barbecue that Chyna's mom had threw for the whole family and Rob and everyone. So Chyna had took all her friends and family to Sensations where it all started, and Rob was saying, if I knew that my daughter was in a strip club, and Chyna was like, well, it happens. So they went, and yes, Sensations is a garage in DC, and they got like these little black chairs, and Rob did say that he was going to donate like 2,300 chairs to Sensations. But they were in there, and Paige had ran into Treasure, which is Chyna's other best friend out of DC. So Treasure and Paige, they were kind of getting into it a little bit because I think Treasure was a little bit jealous that Paige is living in Chyna's house, and she doesn't really know her motive. So they went bowling, they kind of ran into a little problem. Paige had left. And then at the end of the episode, Chyna brought Paige and Treasure together to try to hash out their issues. They got into an argument. Treasure was telling Paige, if I was out in LA, you wouldn't be living in Chyna's house. And they were going back and forth. But finally, they kind of made up. I think it's still some tension there. It was kind of awkward, but they did make up. Chyna is a good mediator. So at the party, Chyna's family was there. She didn't even know, like, most of her family was there. So her mom had put together this really nice party. And towards the end, Tokyo Tony had went outside and met up with Chyna and Rob. And so Tokyo Tony had asked them, when are you going to get married? So Rob said after she has her baby, probably by next year. And Chyna told her mom, no, we're playing it by ear. So Tokyo Tony was saying she started getting emotional because she didn't want Chyna to be raising their daughter by herself, because Chyna didn't have a father in her life, and she would like for her granddaughter to have a father in her life. So she was just telling Rob, you need to stop all that. It's not his and hers. It should be an our thing. So, she's just trying to drop some knowledge upon these folks. So let me go ahead and jump right into that tea portion. Let's get it. So for this hot tea, Black Chyna was with Aloris Swank. They had a meet and greet at Aloris's shop. So if you were there, shout out to you. And they were looking real cute together. And I'm glad to see that Rob has a sense of humor. He posted a picture up of his whole family wearing this blonde bob that they've all been wearing, including him. So I thought that was actually pretty funny. And last but not least, but then I think the sense of humor had went away because Rob had posted on Twitter Kylie Jenner's phone number, And shout out to my subscriber on YouTube and on Facebook, one of my little sources, Brishayla. She had called the number and it was actually Kylie Jenner who picked up. Now, Rob had did this because he said, how are you guys going to throw a baby shower for me and not invite my baby mama? Shady, shady. Anyways, that is it for you guys. Please make sure you subscribe. I will see you all next week. Spilling Tea with Chris G.